Okay, so this is the RIES IDIOMAS podcast. This is number five. The last two were really talking about student advice and learning, and then before that, I think it was number three. That was basic conversation. So today, this is the continuation of pre-intermediate, intermediate conversation. So today, I'm going to be doing them in sequence. So we have 200 questions altogether, so it's going to take me some time to get through this. But today we're going to be doing 9 to 15. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so number 9. What, if anything, would you change about yourself? So when I ask students about this, I'm really talking like mentally, physically, or spiritually. What would you change? So physically, well, maybe some hair, but I'm not really sure. I don't mind being bald, But I don't know, maybe a little bit taller. Maybe that's about it. I mean, nothing physically really. I don't really care. Okay, mentally, I think I would like to be less stubborn. Okay, so that's terco in Spanish. Okay, so I think I'd like to be less stubborn, or for example, less fixated on something. So if I have to do something, it's like 100%, and then I focus on that, and then everything else falls by the wayside. So I mean, if we're talking about dedication, it's really, really good. But then obviously to be less obsessive about the things that I do. A lot of people have actually said to me that I'm very, very intense, and I really like that. I hate the fact when I'm talking to somebody and they're, I don't know, very passive or very, very boring. I get really kind of frustrated or really bored very, very quickly. So I prefer a person that can have like really deep or intense conversations about like important topics. So maybe something like that, to be a little bit less obsessive, I suppose, is a good thing. The toughest one, I think, for me anyway, is spiritually. So I am kind of like a spiritual person, but I'm not religious. And I think sometimes I would really like to be a religious person. Sometimes I'm kind of jealous of very religious people, because I think that it's a big, big benefit for people that really believe in religion, that they have this idea, that when they die, they're going to go to heaven, and their family members are there and friends and everything like that. But really, I really don't believe in that at all. So I think sometimes I would like to have more faith in like a religion in general, but it's not that big a deal for me anyway. So that's number 9. All right, number 10. What is or will be the highlight of your day today? Now, highlight is destacar, or if it's talking about like a pen or a marker, marcador, it's a marca texto. Highlight also as well is los mejores partes. Okay, so what is or will be the highlight of your day today? So far today, I woke up really early today. I was out in my garden, like watering my plants and like playing with my dogs really, really early. I think at like 6:30 in the morning. I think all my neighbors probably think I'm some crazy foreigner or something like that. But it was nice. I had my coffee, watering my plants, just spending some time alone, well, with my dogs as well. So it was a nice, very calm way to wake up in the morning. And yeah, very peaceful. So I really like that. And then after this today, I think maybe just going home, relaxing, watching a few episodes of a TV show with my wife and my son. That's about it. Nothing too special today. Number 11. Okay, what is your favorite type of music and why? So in the past, I really liked, I suppose I grew up in like early 2000s, so like new metal in the day, like back in the day. And then after that, I got really, well, since I was like maybe 12, I was really into electronic music. So it's not, like now it's called EDM, but it's not exactly the same thing. So the Chemical Brothers or Fatboy Slim maybe, when I was younger. So now I'm really, really into rap and hip hop. So I really love Kendrick Lamar at the moment. So I really like, I suppose you'd call it like modern hip hop with very heavy, interesting beats, and then very, I don't know, very moving, poetic, or eloquent lyrics then as well, because it's really, really great, especially listening to someone like Kendrick Lamar. He is from a very, very poor area of LA, and he's grown up to be like a very famous hip hop artist. I think it's the first person, I think it was the Pulitzer Prize for his lyrics on his album Damn. I think so. But yeah, that's my favorite type of music at the moment, like hip hop or rap. I do like some in Spanish, but I obviously prefer then in English then as well. And to be honest, when I'm listening to like hip hop in Spanish, I kind of prefer earlier kind of ones from the early like 2000s, I suppose, or 2010s, something like that. Okay, so as you can see, some of these questions are quite short and others then are quite long. So it depends then as well. Obviously, when you're in class, then it's the teacher's job to kind of pull more information out of that for you then as well. So, what is your favorite waste of time? I don't know. I think my favorite waste of time are, well, really a waste of time is something that doesn't really have a huge benefit to it, you know. So when I do this with some students, they're like, "Oh, spending time with my family." I was like, "That's not a waste of time." Okay, so if we're talking about a waste of time, maybe I don't know, browsing on Facebook. But I've really trained myself to do well to use less and less social media in the last few years. I've deleted a lot of apps, or I really don't use them apart from like marketing or advertising, you know. So favorite waste of time, maybe looking at like random YouTube videos or something like that that sometimes I'm not even interested in, you know, so something like that, maybe. Okay. 13. What is the last thing you worked really, really hard on? Okay. I think the last thing I worked really hard on was a book that I wrote during the pandemic. I had started a little bit of it at the very start of the pandemic, then I got a little bit lazy for a few months and then I went back to it, and then towards the end of 2020 until the start of 2022, I was working on it. It's around, well, it's less than 300 pages, and now I've actually split it into two. But that was a lot of dedication, a lot of research then as well, like reading other books and things like that. So now I've split it into like two smaller books that are more or less like maybe 150 pages each one. It's about self-help, basically. So I think that was the last thing. And I really appreciate spending so much time and dedication doing a big project like that, because it was always one of these things that I had in my mind that I wanted to write a book, and now that I've done it, I'm really really proud and really happy of it then as well. Okay, 14. What movie can you remember the music to? Okay, obviously, like I was born in '86, so all of the early '90s Disney movies like Aladdin, what else then? Lion King, all of that. Toy Story 1. Yeah, that was when I was like 9 or 10, I think. So all of that music immediately brings flashes of like different scenes and things like that from those movies. And then modern ones, probably more Pixar movies, to be honest. Really, yeah, I really love Pixar movies. And okay, 15. What is your most embarrassing moment? Well, I have a lot, obviously. But okay, most embarrassing moment. I don't know. One time I went to the circus with my wife and my son, and I didn't want to sit near the front because obviously I'm white in Mexico, so I kind of stand out a lot. I'm kind of glow in the dark, you know, which is fosforescente in Spanish. So we sat near the front of the circus, and Jesus, this is like 10, 11 years ago now. My son was like a baby at the time. So yeah, we were there maybe, and then like there was these three clowns, short little guys, really stocky, built like boxers, you know, and they were like jumping and running all over the place and stuff like this. And then one just looked at me like this, and then ran over to me, sat on my lap, and kissed me on the cheek. And then of course the other 300 Mexicans in the whole area started laughing. And then he ended up doing it another time, but before he did this, he was doing flips and cartwheels and things like this, and then he had one clown and another clown on the other side, and they pulled his clothes off, and he was in like this like string bikini that was like bright yellow, and he was wearing nothing else. And then he ran back over to me again, sat on my lap, and kissed me on the cheek. And I had to tell my wife, okay, yeah, we're never coming to the circus ever again. So yeah, lots of fun. Horrible. Okay, so today that was 9 to 15, and yeah, we're just coming up on 10 minutes, so that's perfect. Like I said before, if you do have comments or questions, suggestions, or if you have a question you would like to send to me in order to get me to answer it and record it, please let me know. I have this now on Spotify, but also on YouTube then as well on my channel. And then like and subscribe. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye bye.